Today we're talking about the Mach 33 in both 70 pounds versus 80 pounds. Is 80 pounds worth shooting, and is there a performance advantage? Let's talk about it. All right guys, the Mach 33, probably our #1 most requested carbon bow for this year. Comes in a lot of great color options. This is the new green color, olive green that they've got, and then they've also got their bronze accents. So super sharp looking bow. And the 33-inch axle-to-axle platform that it comes in is probably, in my opinion, that sweet spot. 32, 33 inches is right there, I think fits most people. And as far as a do-all bow, you really can't beat it. PSE, their carbon lineup, the Mach 30, 33, and now they have a 35. You get all kinds of options when it comes to the carbon lineup, but the 33 again being their most popular for us here at this shop. So when you look at the specs of this bow, you've got an axle length of 33 inches. We've got an IBO of 335 feet per second. We've got draw length options from 25.5 to 31 inches. This bow comes available in 60, 70, and 80 pounds. Like I said, we're gonna be testing the 70 versus 80 pound options today. We've got a brace height of 6.625 inches. And then you've got adjustable let off between 80, 85, and 90%. So again, I think the reason the PSE bows for us have done so well is one, the draw cycle. The EC2 cam that they come with, we've talked about it over and over again, just incredibly smooth and forgiving cam system. From beginning to end, there's no drastic dump on the backside. It's just consistent all the way through. Again, I have a lot of experience with the Mach 30, the Levitate, and these bows just seem to hold and shoot really well. I was really impressed with the Mach 30, how well it shot at distance for me, being such a short axle-to-axle bow. So I'm honestly on kind of going back and forth. Am I gonna go to a 33 or am I gonna stay with a 30? But we're gonna do a little bit of testing today. So 80 pounds is a hot topic, we know it. Do you need to shoot 80 pounds? Absolutely not, but if you can, why not? So we're gonna look and see what kind of performance speed-wise we get and the overall feel of the bow going from 70 to 80 pounds. So we're gonna do like we normally do. I'm gonna actually shoot these just at 28.5 inches, but we're gonna shoot a 445 grain arrow and a 545 grain arrow. So we've got about 100 grain difference, and we're gonna see if there's any true speed advantage to going from 70 to 80 pounds. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna step on the range, and we are gonna check the draw weight on these, and we're gonna put a couple arrows down range and see if there's actually any speed advantage. All right guys, let's go ahead and we are gonna check the draw weight on both of these bows real quick and see. We just finally got an 80 pound bow in, and we've had a lot of requests for them. We get a lot of guys that wanna shoot heavy poundage here in our shop, so we generally stock 80 pound bows in most of our bows. So this is the 70 pound bow. It's pulling right at 70 pounds. Holding weight, according to this scale, is 5.1 pounds. So we'll move over to the 80 pound model. Pulling 79.5 pounds, holding 7.3 pounds according to this scale. So before we go ahead and put some arrows through the chronograph, I want to get a feel for these bows and just kind of compare them real quick and just get a couple shots through them. I have not shot the 80 pound bow yet. Like I said, we just got it in, and I wanted to play with it a little bit because, like I said, the EC2 cam is incredibly smooth at 70 pounds, and just drawing it back there with the hand scale, it's butter. I mean, incredibly smooth for what it is from beginning to end. But let's get a couple shots of these just to get an idea and a feel. This is the 70 pound option, which again, super smooth. The bow holds really well. These are on 90%. Even at 90%, letting them down is not terrible. Typically, I'll shoot a bow at 85%. I just like it a little bit better. When that 90% rolls over and trying to let it down, you typically have to push it forward a little bit. And you do a tad here, but it's not terrible. Again, draw cycle is incredibly smooth from beginning to end. And the thing I like about the Mach series is the bows don't want to torque in my hand. So I had that problem with the Levitate. I mean, incredibly dead. The carbon bows from PSE are fantastic. There's not, to me, they're incredibly quiet. There's not a lot of feedback or vibration in them. And I just, like I said, the draw cycle on them is incredible. Let me shoot another one real quick. Really get into it at 70 pounds. Yeah, I mean, super smooth. And the thing I like about the 33 is the string angle. Not too steep, it fits nice. I don't feel like I gotta duck my head into it. So, a couple arrows through that. Now we've got our 80-pound 33. So I don't know, it seems like a lot of people fear the 80-pound bows, or, you know, there's a lot of talk, you don't need 80 pounds, and I absolutely believe you. I've shot 60-pound bows, 70-pound bows, and 80-pound bows, and killed things no problem with any of them. But these longer axle-to-axle bows, especially like this 33 with this cam system on them, if you can shoot it, and shoot it comfortably, I'd argue why not shoot 80 pounds. So let's see. I mean, it's definitely stiffer, but it's not bad. Again, holding the bow is very, very easy. So letting it down, we're at 90%. Still letting it down is not bad at all. And again, I really like the grip on these bows. I shoot bare riser. I don't put any kind of grip on it. I know UltraView had an aftermarket grip, but I like just the riser. The grip is very repeatable for me. And again, these bows do not want to torque. Whenever I get to full draw, and I look up at my string and cam, it's all in line, tracks. I don't feel like I got to fight it. Yeah, so let's go ahead and rip this thing back. Again, right at 80 pounds. Yeah, there's a little bit of dump at 90%, but it's not bad. Rolls over easy. The bow holds fantastic. Yeah. I don't know. I think personally I would shoot 80 pounds all day, but let's see performance-wise if there's any advantage to shooting, going those extra 10 pounds, and putting your shoulders through all that stress. I guess is what people will say is the biggest complaint. But let's see if there's actually any performance advantage going from 70 to 80 pounds. And we're gonna shoot that 445 grain arrow at 28.5 inches and then 545 grain arrow at 28.5 inches. All right, so this is 70 pounds, 28.5 inches with the 445 grain arrow. All right, so we got a 3-shot group. We got an average of 275.7 feet per second. So 28.5 inches, 70 pounds. I think we're scooting, we're doing pretty good. So 275 feet per second with that 445 grain arrow. So now we're gonna jump up to that 545 grain arrow and see what the speed looks like. All right, 545 grain arrow, 70 pounds, 28.5 inches. All right, so we got an average of 251 feet per second with the 545 grain arrow. So about a 25 feet per second difference with that 100 grain difference. So now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna move to the 33 and 80 pounds and look at those numbers and see how they compare. Alrighty guys, so this is the 80 pound option. Again, 28.5 inches, pulling right at 80 pounds with this 445 grain arrow. All right guys, so going to 80 pounds, we've got an average of 293.6 feet per second. So you're gaining almost 20 feet per second when you jump up those 10 pounds and go from 70 to 80 pounds. In my eyes, if you can handle it, it's absolutely worth it. But let's do the same test. Let's go now to that 545 grain arrow and see what the speeds look like. All right, and finally, our final test. We've got, again, 80 pounds, 28.5 inches at 545 grains. All right, 3-shot group, we've got an average of 267.6 feet per second. So let me take out my notes here real quick. So we gained about 17 feet per second from 70 to 80 pounds and almost 20 feet per second going from 70 to 80 pounds with that lighter arrow option. So is it worth shooting 80 pounds? I'll let you be the judge of that. Clearly there's a performance advantage. You gain more, you can shoot a heavier arrow faster. To me, that's a win-win. But again, 80 pounds is not for everybody. So should you shoot 80 pounds? You don't have to. By no means is it a requirement, but if you can, why not? I think the guys that focus on strength training and being physically fit and active, I don't think 80 pounds is a big deal. I think you gain a lot from it. Clearly, almost 20 feet per second difference when you go from 70 to 80 pounds shooting that 445 grain arrow. So I'd be curious to hear from you guys. What do you guys think about the 80 pound bows? Again, PSE has absolutely knocked it out of the park with the EC2 cam. Incredibly manageable, smooth. Is it stiffer going from 70 to 80 pounds? Of course, just a little bit. But again, very manageable. When we look at it, pros and cons, we've clearly shown there's advantage to it. You gain more speed, more performance out of the bow. But the cons, again, you're shooting 80 pounds. Maybe you fatigue a little bit faster if you don't put the reps in and you're somebody that just picks their bow up and just heads out to the woods, only hunts for the season, doesn't shoot year round. It may not be the right option for you. If you have shoulder issues, clearly 80 pounds is not the answer. But yeah, I'd be curious to hear from you guys. What do you guys think? How many pounds are you shooting? Is there a need for 80 pounds? Is the speed advantage worth it in your eyes? So drop us some comments, let us know. And as always, we appreciate you guys. Make sure if you need anything, head over to the website, extremeoutfitters.com, for all of your archery needs. We've got tons of new product dropping every day. So head over there, sign up for our newsletter, get locked in for all of our exclusive deals. And again, if you need anything, come visit us. We're here in Jacksonville, North Carolina, right outside of Camp Lejeune. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next video.